Welcome to my program, Three Things Every Manager Needs to Know About the FMLA. This program is so challenging, and I think one of the main reasons is the fact that it has a lot of issues with regard to money and lawsuits and lack of understanding. And the FMLA violations are one of the top 5 reasons that organizations are sued in court. And I think it's because a lot of the information is not intuitive, it's counterintuitive, and you get surprised all the time. Exactly what you thought it was going to be, it turns out to be the opposite. And people are asking the wrong questions. So, what are the right questions? You want to look at the job description, you want to look at the physical requirements of the job. And again, I want to stress that however you think the law works, it might end up being the exact opposite. For example, you're really frustrated thinking that this person is faking it and the leave isn't even for him. Or you don't understand that under certain circumstances, certain illnesses may be protected under the ADA and the FMLA. So, what I want to look at now is the Department of Labor's website, and more specifically in the wage and hour division, and how the FMLA is interpreted there. And I would encourage you to go there as well, because if you don't get this type of training, you will violate the FMLA, whether you mean to or not. So, again, in this program, we want to focus on the job description. I want to look at the determination, who is making that determination as to whether somebody is eligible or not, and then we want to look at the time frames associated with the FMLA. So the time frames that I really want to focus on have to do with 5 and 15, and I'll get into that. And we also want to look at the how the law was reviewed in 2009, and we're not only looking at the doctor's office, but we're also looking at the physician's assistant. So to focus in on the job description, we're going to go to a seminar.
Okay, the question is, at what point in the hiring process do you have them sign the job description? I think that you definitely want to have them sign off when you have interviewed them and you get to that conversation where you talk about the essential functions of the job and you're making that decision. When do you have them sign off on the job description? Let me just throw that out there to the audience. When do you have them sign?
On the first day of hire.
First day of hire?
Well, they take a look at the job description during the interview. They are given it.
Yes, definitely.
They are given it.
Job descriptions need to be signed immediately upon hiring. We're looking at the physical requirements of the job and then more specifically the major functions of the job. In this next piece, we'll talk about bringing someone back from the FMLA leave.
As far as the physical requirements of the job is, take this little fanny, put it right there. She's wearing a headset, so she doesn't even need to pick up a receiver. She just has to utilize this little index finger and press buttons and talk all day long. Because she basically answers the phone and greets people that come walking in the door, right? Okay, so one of the things that we want to look at, what if we have her do some filing? What if we decide that there are slow periods in my little fake organization here from like 3 to 4, she works 9 to 5, let's say, but from 3 to 4 it gets really, really slow. And let's just juice it up a notch. The filing is right here on the bottom. All the filing cabinets are right here. She has to get into this position. What are you thinking? Have fun? She can't get into this position.
Wait, are we talking about the regular or the...
We're talking about Mary, who's going to be our receptionist, and we know she's got to do some filing. Now, my question is that a major function of the job or a minor function of the job? Minor, okay. That's why, number 7, you want to separate the major functions of the job from the minor functions of the job. Separate major functions of the job versus The minor functions of the job.
The reason Mary was out on the FMLA leave was because of a minor function of the job. What many managers don't realize is that it is possible to discuss the job description with the doctor. You cannot discuss the illness or the reason for the FMLA leave. That will be discussed in my program on HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. But you can discuss the job description with that doctor as it relates to the FMLA leave. And you can modify, change the job description as you see fit so that you can bring somebody back off of FMLA. And I want to give you a word of caution. Do not try to discuss whatever the illness is. It doesn't matter. All you need to know is, can this person do the essential functions of the job? And what we're looking at most importantly is that she's already signed off on that job description. And as we've already discussed in this program, the major functions of the job are separated from the minor functions of the job. So then you can make that determination. So the conversation looks like this: doctor, or you could discuss this with the physician's assistant and share that the reason this person is out on FMLA has to do with a minor function of the job, and all I'm concerned about is the major functions of the job. So please give her or him the release note. Okay, so what we're looking at is that job description, getting this certification from the doctor's office, and that 515. And this is your action plan for those three things that we've been talking about in this program. Number one, make sure the job description has those two functions separated that we've discussed, so that will help you. If she's sitting all day long, then that may not be a problem. But if there's bending and squatting and lifting and pushing and pulling, there might be an issue with that, or standing in the same position all day long. So look at the jobs that you have in your organization. Some do require sitting all day long. Some jobs require standing all day long. They're a little bit more physical, and then other jobs bending and pushing and pulling, lifting, and then you also want to put the weight that they would be lifting. Number two, make sure that the doctor or the physician's assistant has signed that certification and you've got that documentation in your hands. Now, number three has to do with the time frame. You have 5 days to figure out that something is FMLA, and then you can make it mandatory that they have 15 days to get that information back to you in order to be out on the leave. Again, I want to remind you, in 2009, the law was reviewed and FMLA was reviewed, and the physician's assistant can make that determination. So make sure that you've put it in your policies and procedures that you have 5 days to figure out that something is FMLA. They have 15 days to get that information back into you. Connect with me through social media. I like Facebook. If you like my page on Facebook, you have the opportunity to ask questions, to give your comments and your experiences, or you may feel that something has changed within the law and you want an update. You pass on the baton, so to speak, and you give me that question, and then I can create another video for you. So I'm really excited to have you here in this program with me, and I want to thank you for being part of it, and I hope that you connect with me through whatever your favorite social media is.